You're listening to the PRO Media Network, the next level in entertainment.
Hello, New Orleans. You're listening to The Sports Coma, your new #1 podcast on everything Saints, Pelicans, and a lot more. And now, here's your host, Big Q and the guys.
What's up, sports world? How y'all making out tonight? You're rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys. And in the studio tonight, we got our guy DC in the building.
Yup, what's up, world?
Tonight, we got a 30-minute podcast tonight. We got a few items we're going to cover in the prelude to a larger podcast that'll be happening tomorrow. So please feel free to tune in as well. And tonight, we're going to start it off by shouting out Posh Lifestyle for all their top products. We get a lot of support from the fans with that. We appreciate y'all going there and checking out our sponsor. #1 seller of water filters, healing magnetics, healing crystals, clothing, DVDs, jewelry, a little bit of everything. Check their website out at www.poshlifestyle.com. With a $100 purchase, they offer free shipping on the majority of their products. It's an awesome website with a lot of resources, and they constantly always add new products to it. So please feel free to click on the Posh Lifestyle. Life is spelled with that LYFE lifestyle. Upgrade your lifestyle with the Posh Lifestyle and love what you do. Also, if you love our program and you like to donate to us, feel free to go to that same website, theposhlifestyle.com, and click the donation banner at the top of the screen. You'll see donation banner. That'll click right to it, and you can issue out a donation to our show, help us build our platform, and help us move forward as we continue to cover other sport events as well. Tonight on our show, we'll be covering a lot of stuff dealing with the Saints. Of course, you know the Saints traveled to New York to play the Giants. Interesting game. We had the injury report, knowing that who will be ruled out of the game. Daniel Ellerbe.
That's not a surprise.
Daniel Ellerbe is out of the game. He had a quad injury, the same injury that kept him out in week 1. He still won't be available. Craig Robertson will fill in for him.
Was it the quad last year too?
It was a quad. I don't know last year. No, last game it was. So 2 straight games with a quad injury that's keeping him out. Also, who has a quad injury is Tyron Umstead. He's quite limited. He played some in practice, but limited, which means he'll probably have reduced snaps in the game against the Giants. Also, Josh Hill has a high ankle sprain, still suffering from that. No time frame on his ankle. He'll be replaced in the active roster by Chris Manhertz.
Do your thing, Chris.
Yeah, show what you can do. Cause
put
really,
Josh on the bench, bro.
Yeah, because serious Josh Hill, man. Josh Hill is to me shouldn't have even made this team. And you can listen to previous broadcasts about our takes on that.
Oh, Madden, he rated a 78.
Yeah, that Madden giving them love, but he must have paid extra money to their programmers. But also, and Devin Breaux, of course, we know about Devin Breaux's 6-week list, being that he'll be out for 6 weeks. He should return about the same time as Rankins. So it'd be good to have those 2 boosts. Hopefully, we're still in contention. So we'll cover that. We'll get into that. Also, we'll have the prep scoreboard. We're going to cover all of the games of our area prep-wise, the high school games. We'll get into that later on. LSU is at LSU battles Ole Miss. Danny Atlin gets his second time around, a full starter game this one. See what he can do against that Mississippi State defense, the Bulldogs. That'd be an interesting matchup. Yeah. We'll talk about Tulane and Navy, preview them, and also we'll have that AP Top 25 poll to show you where we are and other people are as well. But to start the show off, we'll start off with the Saints, and we'll talk about that Daniel Ellerbe situation. Of course, if you heard the previous broadcast, it was quite a rant we covered, and we appreciate a lot of people was able to tune in there and show us some support. Mississippi State. So we that's the whole deal. We called in Ellerbe as a guy that should have not made the cut based on the logic that the Saints upper brass was using dealing with Keenan Lewis. Well, we cut Keenan Lewis because his availability was the issue. He wasn't available. Well, the same thing with Daniel Ellerbe, even though Ellerbe has taken multiple pay cuts since he's been here. And he brought in Craig Robertson as an insurance policy just in case Daniel Ellerbe is there. My issue with that is if Daniel Ellerbe, as good as he is, when he played 6 games last year, remember there's 16 games in the season. Just remember that. So he missed 10 games He played 6 and we were 4-2, but that's good enough for us to say, you know what? He was 4-2 when he was in there. We need to keep him.
4-2 with him.
So I mean, how about just going to get a linebacker that can actually contribute to the majority of the game since he's been down here. Majority of the time he's been hurt, but
we just gonna have a guy just in case he gets hurt.
pretty much.
Yeah,
Just in case we gonna hurt. That's
that
the
makes a lot of
logic.
sense.
It makes
we don't have to replace him.
Total sense. It's just
Yeah.
why the hell not, right?
Yeah.
But that's some of the things that we dealing when we talk about with Daniel Ellaby. Also, Josh Hill. Like I said, we went over that. Josh Hill said he shouldn't have made the team in the first
We
place.
could have cut him instead of C.J. Spiller.
I think he would have been. He definitely should have been cut. He hadn't showed me anything in the training camp, in either the mini camp or the big camp. He didn't show me anything in the preseason. He was dropping balls in preseason. Matter of fact, he dropped a touchdown in the preseason. This is his third year. He still looks lost. He was basically given the keys to the bus last year, in which he said, "I don't want it. Just give it to Ben Watson. Let him take it." And Ben Watson had a stellar year.
Nah.
So,
This is the thing. When
that was
Jimmy
just
Graham left,
That's
it was
Remember
ever
that.
a time if he was gonna do anything,
yes, it would have been
that
year.
was the time.
But see,
he did.
But you know what? That's why I gotta think.
Zero.
That's why I say I gotta thank the Most High that there is a sports coma, because most people wouldn't even talk about that.
No.
They wouldn't even reference to go back to the time frame.
I remember that. Sean
why-
Payton was like, "That's my guy. He's
Right.
gonna have a big
that Josh
season."
Hill is gonna be the replacement for Jimmy
Did he
Graham.
even score a touchdown?
I don't remember. I think he got maybe 2 or 3 of them in the entire season.
it was horrible, man.
He didn't even get. I don't think he even got 15 catches last year.
It
the
was
full
horrible,
year.
man.
So that's what I'm saying. Totally pathetic tight end. Another one of those handpicked guys that
He
just
block
can't do
a
no
little bit.
wrong.
A little
It's
bit.
just not enough. It's not enough, and I thought they had better talent. So he should have been cut, but he got a high ankle sprain. He'd probably be out for an extended period of time too. Devin Breaux, of course. The talk on the town, of course, is with the new upbringing. They got B.W. Webb, the middle school.
E.W. Webb.
B.W. Webb, relative.
They're
to
putting
B.W.
Sterling
Cooper.
Moore in front of the camera too, so
Was-
he's the guy with experience and the knowledge and wisdom,
Which is crazy
in
because
all of his 5 years in the league.
6 years in the league. I think this is his 7th year. But the reality situation, Sterling Moore never started an entire full season for anybody.
No,
He had a game against, and they touting his game against that he had against Odell Beckham, where he
Oh,
held
my
him 3
God.
catches and 50-something yards or what have you.
was Odell sick that
And
day?
I don't know what happened, but I guarantee you it's going to be a different affair of this game. If my take on it is, if you know you got issues, you got rid of your number one cornerback, which was Keenan Lewis. You made Devin Breaux the guy, and we cautioned to that. It was like, okay, Devin Breaux had a solid year last year.
Mm-hmm.
This year here, they're expecting big things, but we putting too much pressure on Breaux. We
Yeah,
gotta
we
let
are.
him
He's not
mature
that
into
guy,
that role.
man.
With Darrell Reeves first step into leading, by all means, I'm not comparing him to to Reeves, but when Reeves first came in the league, when he first stepped on the field, he wasn't that guy. He didn't become that guy till much later. The same with Richard Sherman. Richard Sherman, when he stepped on the field at first, he didn't become that guy. He developed into that guy.
The only person
He
I
wasn't-
know was that guy at
was Deion
cornerback
Sanders.
was Deion Sanders.
Deion
man.
Sanders was
Every
the
other
guy that was
cornerback
that
is
guy.
I think they say cornerback is the second hardest position,
Yeah,
if I believe, to learn.
Yeah, behind the quarterback.
Yeah, man, it's just really tough.
So, but he stepped in as the man and did that thing. He held it down. Devin Breaux, I feel he's good, but he's not as good as we're giving him credit to be. Let's get a couple more years up under him and let's see what he can do.
I feel like
that's my take on.
I
Devin
feel like
Breaux.
he is as good as we're giving him credit for. But the thing that I see that a lot of people don't take into consideration, he's not experienced. I mean, he's still
Well,
a young guy. And he hasn't
That's what I'm
seen
saying.
everything. you
That's
know?
what I'm saying.
It's a lot. He can get a lot better.
Let me say this: a lot of these broadcasters and these guys, you overuse the term "great." Okay, great is great. Now you consider great to Hall of Famer. That's what I would attach great to, Hall of Famer. They just chunk out the word great. Oh, he's a great cornerback. He's a great cornerback. Or I would say Devin Breaux's
He's
not
a
a
good
great
cornerback.
cornerback. He's a good cornerback.
He's a damn good
But you got
cornerback.
a sample size 1 year of Devin Breaux. He was in a second string cornerback, the number 2 position,
Right.
guarding the guy on the other side. You know, most of the time he did go up against some of the best receivers in the game, which was dealing with guys like Julio Jones and the likes and DeAndre Hopkins who tore him up. You know, so that's what I'm saying. But let's
But
give.
he did good on Julio Jones.
He did pretty decent. He didn't stop Julio, but
Who
he slowed
can?
him down.
Who can?
You know,
Who stopped Julio?
Brandon Brown. Anyway, that's a good joke.
Oh, man, that is funny.
But anyway, like I said, let's get a longer serving size on Devin Bro before we crown him with the term great.
No, I don't think he should be being called great. It's only his second season.
Right, but you got people that's just happy to get a cornerback after they can actually play a position. That's how starved we are for a cornerback down here.
But you know, it's a sad thing, bro, because we've had this like problem going all the way back probably early 90s, man. Like, we've always needed cornerbacks.
Man.
And how do we manage to not get them for so long?
We do a pretty terrible job of shopping in the bargain basements, getting BW Webb, the middle
jury's
school.
still out on BW Webb.
The jury's still out on every last one of them.
I like his hairstyle. I think he might be good.
Devontae Harris, Ken Crawley,
2 dreadheads.
Ken Crawley, Sterling Moore. I mean, the jury's out on all those cornerbacks, to be honest.
PJ Williams is probably our most solid cornerback, man. And this only his second year. And when it's really technically his rookie year.
It's really he didn't pay a lick last year.
And that's how the best cornerback we have active on our roster.
Well, we need help. I don't know why we ain't make a move to see if we can get a more established cornerback. I know
maybe we should try to trade for Darrell Reeves, right?
I'll take anybody about now.
They look like they're ready to kick him off the jet ship over there.
I just think probably they're just waiting for the Saints, just waiting to see if they can buy their time. And the reality of the situation is with the Saints and the Jets game. Of course, we're gonna preview that game tomorrow and give you our picks on that game. We won't do it tonight, but my take on that situation is that they cannot allow themselves to slip in an 0-2 hole this early in the season.
Only 4 teams came back from that.
I'm going to tell you, 0-2 hole and losing to that Oakland team, they shouldn't have lost to Oakland. They can't
brush that one off.
They cannot lose to the Giants and go into an 0-2 hole. Hear me very well. Okay, let's jump ship and go from the Saints and talk about our next bit of deal. We're going to cover LSU. They go against Mississippi State, the Bulldogs. And, of course, LSU bench Brandon Harris. Les Miles came out and mentioned that LSU will be starting Danny Atling at quarterback going into this game.
Oh, wait.
So
Devin Harris has to be ready because he could be possibly, maybe kind of sort of taking a snap. You heard that part? He kind of kept it. They might use Brandon Harris in certain packages. I mean, so we obviously might be looking at that. We got a double quarterback system again at LSU for like the 4th year.
I really hate the double quarterback system. I despise it.
It works so good.
Huh? I hate it. I despise it. I just think that we will do a lot better.
I was with it until we went to that championship against Alabama. And oh my God, that had to be like the worst. I'm not even talking about just LSU football. That was just like one of the worst championship games I've seen, just as far as quarterback play, bro. It was just horrible.
Well, they got Ole Miss coming in here. Ole Miss is ranked at number 19th in the country. Of course, you know LSU sits at 20. So with a win, they can maybe go up a spot and grab the 19 ranking. But anyway, Leonard Fournette will be back, and LSU will be wearing their new gold throwback unis. So they got the new gold throwback uniforms that the Tigers going to be wearing for that game with the new helmet and whatnot. So
I like it, man. They need to do something. Do something different.
They need something, but Leonard will be back. Motivation, so it'll be interesting game. You want to make a call on that game right quick? You think LSU going to come up with the victory? What's your take on that?
Yeah, I definitely think LSU will come up with this victory because we got Leonard Fournette coming back. And if anybody watched the game last week, our man Geis was slicing and dicing. And Leonard Fournette is going to come back angry. I'm sure he's happy for his little brother, but he going to show everybody who Leonard Fournette is.
Yeah, Leonard Fournette is back. He'll be playing. He'll be hustling hard. Of course, I think probably the best bet to look at it, Mississippi State coming into this game allowing just 17 points a game. LSU, 14 and a half points a game. Although, Mississippi State. But the passing yards is 169. They average 169 a game in a couple games that they play. LSU 129. Very pathetic. And rushing yards a game, they do give you 264, almost 265 yards a game that Mississippi State does run on your butt. So, you know, it's going to be pretty interesting to see just what they can do.
I think we're pretty good. I think LSU is pretty good against the run, man.
Well, they allow in just one, rushing against the rush there, the LSU is allowing 127.
Ain't too
And
bad.
no, 127. They doing 264. So
Mississippi State only allowing 64 yards.
So it's gonna be interesting, man. It's gonna be a game. It's gonna be a tough game. Mississippi State coming into the game 1-1. LSU's 1-1, and of course they are 1-0 in conference play. And LSU, of course, would like to get that victory and that first conference victory.
Yeah, the conference is where they got to
right. They got to win
right now.
So
man.
yeah, that's gonna be interesting.
And thank God, no Dak Prescott. I'm so happy he played for the Cowboys.
Dak is out of there. So.
Man, we couldn't win the game with that guy in the lineup.
Right. So I mean, that's actually a good thing that we have to worry about Dak in the game. But outside, I would give LSU this victory. I think it's gonna be a close game. LSU is gonna have to show what they can do against Mississippi State. This won't be a blowout by no stretch of the imagination. The offensive of LSU, like I said, they're only averaging 129 points in 2 contests, and that's not good. 129 yards a game they're throwing on, which is pretty pathetic. They're gonna have to sling that ball and get a lot better than that to beat Mississippi State and stay ahead of them. And a loss to Mississippi State, basically, I don't know. Like
it's pretty much eliminated. It's too much to overcome.
Right, because if a loss to Mississippi State, they're ranked 19. You get beat by Wisconsin the first game, drops you 16 spots down out of the top 5,
right,
or top 6 or whatever, to a 20 slot, 21. They beat the other team last year. They moved up 1 slot.
You out of
now
it,
you
man.
got this guy here. You lose to Mississippi State at 19. They might drop you clear. They might drop you out of the rankings. Period.
I think if they had a second loss, it would have to be way down the line in the season, and it would have to be against an extremely tough opponent like Alabama, for them to still have a shot, and they would have to be playing pretty much lights out all year.
Right.
So
well, we like I said,
it's a playoff game, man.
It is a playoff game, and this is a big game. Rest
That's
assured,
what I like about college, man. That's why they play so hard.
Right, LSU. Rest assured, this is a game that y'all cannot lose. Y'all have to win this game, because after this, I don't think 3 lost teams have a chance to play for a national championship. No. And boy, could you hear the screams and the fans howling for Les Miles' head if they lose this game?
They calling for his head already right now, man. Do you see Les Miles in the interviews, man? He don't look all charismatic like he used to. He look very uncomfortable.
I think he might have to invest in a bigger hat because to cover his face so you can hide.
He need to eat some more blades of grass or something.
Make sure you have no fertilizer in the grass that you eat, Les. But we're gonna cover the top 25 poll. Looking at, you know what? Let's talk about Tulane. Tulane, they got Navy coming in, and
the option team.
Yeah, we got Navy coming in. What's your take on that? What you think about that Tulane matchup with Tulane? I know we.
Well, I think it's gonna be like the road run out there, man. We got 2 teams that's just basically gonna run the ball all day long. Like Navy has run that option offense like forever, and I don't see that changing. And so if Tulane could be pretty stout against the run while running the ball as successfully they did last week, then I think they can pull out a victory. But I'm not sleeping on Navy at all, man. I don't think they're just a team just to,
I think a lot of people pick Navy to win this game.
Navy's a good team.
They're a good team.
They have a good system, and they never change their system, ever.
We're looking at the statistics, points a game averaging. They averaging 40 points a game. Right now, Tulane's at 34.5. Points a game. Points allowed. They only allow 20 points a game, so half of the points that they score.
And they rush for more yards than Tulane.
And Tulane, truth be told, Tulane's defense is really something else. Even through two games, they only allow 2 touchdowns a game, 14 points solid a game. So that's pretty good. Hopefully that defense will travel as well. But if you look at Navy, they look pretty much the same as LSU, passing the ball, 126 yards a game, throwing it, but rushing 331 games a game.
This game is gonna go down to the last seconds, man, because you got 2 teams that Navy is not too bad against the rush either. They got the same average as LSU does, 126, and then Tulane is only giving up 66 yards against the run. And Navy's averaging 331 yards rushing, and Tulane's averaging 291, almost 300. So we know they're both going to be trying to run the ball. So it's going to be a pretty short game, and it's probably going to go down to the last seconds because I don't see either one of them being just extremely successful against each other. Because you got to think, they run the ball a lot, so this is what they're seeing in practice all the time. Right. They used to playing against the run, both teams.
True, you're right, and I have to say I'm gonna have to get a call. It's gonna be a close call, but I'm gonna lean in on the home team. I'm gonna go with Tulane this game, even though My first mind telling me Navy's gonna win this contest.
Come on, man, don't
But-
say that.
But
man.
I'm gonna go with Tulane. I'm gonna go on the stretch because I like what they did last week. I like how the defense played,
Yeah.
and you know I'm a Bill Cowell fan. I believe in playing strong defense and running the ball, which is what
That's
LSU
what they doing,
did.
man. That's a
what they
formula
doing.
for success.
That is a formula success. They got a good defense and a strong running game, and that's all we need to start off with. So hopefully that'll be enough against that strong or potent attack from the Navy midshipmen. Outside of that, we talk about other things, but I think in the ranking situation, covering the AP Associated Press top 25 rankings, looking at Alabama, they sit on top of the division with Florida State chasing them. Number 3 is Ohio State. Michigan is number 2. Clemson 2-0. Houston, Stanford, Washington, Wisconsin, and Louisville round out the top 10. 11th is Texas. 12th
That's
is
gonna be a
Michigan
good game
State.
at Louisville.
Iowa is ranked 13 there. 14th is Oklahoma. 15th is Tennessee. 16th is Georgia. 17th is Texas A&M. 18th is Notre Dame. 19 is Ole Miss. LSU sits comfortably at number 20. Baylor is
No,
21.
we're not comfortable at 20.
It must be if
We
they're
not
playing like that.
comfortable,
You know what I'm saying? 22 is Oregon. 23 is Florida. 24 is Arkansas. And the U at number 25 rounds out the AP top poll. What do you see there that you like?
I'm happy Houston's in there, man. My little cousin plays quarterback for Houston. I'm glad to see a team, a low level team finally break that mold. That's what I really like about the new system. Because before you would have these teams that people say they don't play nobody, but they go like 13-0. They rank like 19. They didn't lose a game in 2 years.
Right.
They say they're not playing anybody. So
Well,
I like to see that those type of teams, maybe they are really that good. Give them a chance.
Well, usually I'm so accustomed to see TCU sitting there somewhere. TCU is not anywhere in there.
TCU is always.
Remember, it was a while.
USC was another one. Man.
USC was another
Every
one.
year they rank USC
USC
for
was
whatever
another
reason.
team that was in there. Boise State was another team in there. We don't see them anymore. And TCU for a while had a stretch where they were in there. They're not in there more. But Houston is a team that
they
really
good. They
Baylor.
good on both
now
sides,
Baylor
man.
was a team that was always in the top.
But Baylor
10
was always. They
also
always
well.
had good players.
Right, RG3 and all them, but Baylor is in the top 25. They sit right at the 21st spot. And the thing I like about this poll is, of course, I'm an SEC man to the core. I love seeing Alabama sit on top of that. I do like Florida State and
I don't
Ohio
like
State.
seeing Alabama
But
sitting on top.
Alabama to me is
They are the best team.
They are the precipice
They are the
of
best
what
team.
all teams are supposed to be. They have excellent
Yes,
coaching.
they do.
and excellent ranking. Alabama is the epitome of what every
I
college
just don't like
team's
it.
supposed to be.
I don't like it
Because no one likes a perennial winner. For
How
that
did we
reason.
have Nick Saban and let him
I
go?
admire
And
that,
he
man.
won. And he won a championship with us.
You gotta remember Nick Saban jumped for the money. He went to Miami for that 8-8 year, that 1 year.
Yeah.
And when he decided to break the contract, realized that NFL coaching wasn't for him.
Okay,
He
come on
loved the
back to
big-
LSU.
LSU had already picked its coach of the future, and that was Les Miles.
The hell with him.
Well, I agree with you saying, but they chose to go in a different direction with a guy from Oklahoma State.
Yeah, I understand.
And
Hindsight, it looked like a brilliant.
he did win a couple. He won what? Les Miles won with a championship or two.
Wait,
think
he got the two.
I think he has two here, but
won
the
one.
first one I think it was Nick Saban. He won with Saban's team.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
still
that
in
one.
all,
Then-
that's his championship. Like Barry Switzer won the championship for Dallas with Jimmy Johnson's team. So still in all, that's still on the record book. That's still his championship. So a couple of championships in LSU has been.
He got
rocking.
the two. He only won one.
Right.
We had we had that one with Saban and the one with him.
Right. So
Matt Flynn played quarterback.
right with the whole effect, but that's what I'm saying. It's Alabama is what it's supposed to be. Ohio State's another team that's built in the Alabama mold, which
I actually like what I'm seeing from Ohio State.
They are good.
I wasn't expecting them to still like live up to the I guess stakes of where they were being ranked by them losing so much talent and going to the NFL. But
Right.
it's obvious they have an amazing system.
Yeah, they do. They got excellent. What it is it's three teams I really liked. I think really the top four teams are the antithesis of what it takes to win in college football. A strong head coaches. Strong coaches. Where you got Saban, Fisher, Urban Meyer, and Harbaugh at Michigan State, the Wolverines. Strong head coaches, motivators, winners, proven track success of winning. That's the top four teams. Excellent recruiting. Powerhouse clubs with perennial, those are powerhouse balls, ball clubs that are perennial winners that got a tradition and a heritage of winning games. And that is no reason, that's the main reason why they sit perched on top. And I'm not expecting that lineup of teams, those top 4, to change anytime soon. They will be dominant. Of course, I think Ohio State and Michigan match up with each other later on in the year.
I see three of these teams having a loss. But
yes, I can see them. These top teams. Michigan State. Remember, Michigan State won they won the championship a couple of years ago. Ohio State's won the championship last year. Alabama won the championship a few years ago. And Michigan is a team that's now primed to challenge those top teams. So I just love that top 4.
The SEC championship.
Alabama went there. They lost, of course, to So that's what I say. But Alabama is a team that you always look at and say, damn, they can win it every year.
Well, I mean, they won the whole thing last year against Clemson, but I mean, you can't never really count them out. I'm really looking at Alabama. I said 3 teams I can see having a loss. Alabama, I mean, man, I wasn't expecting them to. I was expecting them to be good, but I just wasn't expecting them to look so dominant after all that they lost last year. And seeing that, man, it's like they probably can go undefeated. Right. I would hope they get a loss in there somewhere. 2 or 3 of them suckers. But
we were looking at it.
They're a good team, man.
You were looking at it. And
That quarterback they have is that might be one of the better quarterbacks that they've had in their whole tenure.
Well, it's always sleeper teams that are coming challenge.
Yeah.
I got to mention Texas. Texas was a bum team for a few years now. To Strong got in there. He now has that team up into the 11 because he really been getting a lot of flack since he got to Texas, and so he finally got them playing competitively this year. So
they came back and won that game against Notre Dame. Man, that was impressive.
Right, but Tennessee's another ball club that we got to make mention. You remember Tennessee was kind of a team that was teetering a bit. Now they kind of challenging. Georgia was another team. You remember they fired coach.
Georgia got a lot going.
They fired their head.
They still got Nick Chubb though. So
right, but they fired their head coach Wright, and he left. So, but they're still ranked right now at 16th ranked. So, and then Texas A&M, SEC ball clubs. But I really like that top 4 of Alabama, Florida State, Ohio State, and Michigan. I believe that your champion gonna come out of those teams. I'm not stubbing my nose at Clemson. Don't get me wrong. Clemson's a very strong team. I like Clemson, but this is a different level when you talk about Alabama, Florida State, Ohio State, and Michigan.
Michigan to me is Michigan and Clemson is a coin flip, man. There's a lot of instances where I can say Clemson is better than Michigan, and I'm guessing a lot of people say vice versa, but I like Clemson a little more than Michigan.
Right. Well,
but I'm sold on Ohio State, Florida State.
I think I really do believe that your champion's gonna come out of that top 4, because like I said, you're looking at champions there. You're looking at guys that have been to the mountaintop.
What we're not taking into consideration
you're talking about Urban Meyer. You're talking about Jimbo Fisher. Yeah. You're talking about Jim Harbaugh hadn't been there. In terms of
he's been on a big stage in the NFL.
Right,
it's close enough. It don't get no bigger than that.
Yes. So, but his teams last year has been right at the precipice. This year, a lot of people believe he had the personnel to take it over. And Michigan State is a team ready to get back in the thick of things. And I really do think that the top 4 teams you're gonna get a champion out of those 4 teams.
But you're missing one dynamic that's not currently present. That wasn't currently present in college football.
With injuries?
With the old system. I would say you're right because that's how it always looked.
What am I
missing?
But
we have a playoff now. And with a playoff, I believe that anything is possible, just like the NFL.
True.
You have these games and they start to be heightened. You used to just have your championship game, and then you would, if you did good enough, you would get ready for the national title or your little bowl game.
Right.
Now you got all that going on. And you got to play a playoff.
Yeah.
So that is a whole nother dynamic where, of course, it's going to be out of the top 4 teams because the top 4 teams are going to go to the playoffs.
That's what I'm saying.
But
that's
you have a situation now where in college, which every game is almost like a playoff game, to where it's even more pressure. Let's say it's week 10, and you 1 game behind the Michigan, and you play them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's a big thing. So it's like you have all these potential matchups with these 4 teams that everybody's eyeing. Everybody doesn't have to eyeball number 1 anymore. It's the same way that it used to be, but now you got 4 teams you could look at because everybody always be gunning for the top dog, but we could gun for the 4 top dogs. Right. So you got teams like, man, if I could beat Florida State, we might be able to get up there.
Right.
You know, so you're gonna have a lot of teams hungry, man. They're gonna play them as if they were champions.
Yeah, they're gonna play. It's gonna be.
It's like they're gonna play them like they're playing the number 1 team.
Right. You got to, because your season hinges on it based on the schedule makers looking at strength of schedule to decide. Well, if these guys play out the season to start, I could see a guy like Ohio State and Michigan reaching up in a regular season. In the regular season, them one beat the other team and still play in the playoffs because of the strength of schedule.
Didn't that happen? Wait, who?
I think it happened.
That happened a year, but they only had the system. That was the second year.
It happened when who was it? I can't recall it, but I mean it's happened before. When you play the team during the season, then you play them, come back around.
I mean, we've done that. We've done that twice. We've played, I think, Alabama, and then turn around and had to play them in the conference championship game.
Right.
And then we went to the championship and had to play them again.
Right. But that's just our takes on it. We'll cover it tomorrow. So that's going to be a good day for college football coming up Saturday. Besides the top 25 poll, if you look at some of the games that's going to be played inside of the top 25, Clemson goes up against South Carolina State. That should be a big win for Clemson.
Florida State, Louisville, man.
Florida State, Louisville. That's
you talking
about
them 4 teams, man. Louisville could easily take down Florida State.
Louisville, don't forget Louisville has that excellent quarterback, Lamar Jackson.
They averaging 66
Lamar
points
Jackson
a game,
is the guy that you need to keep your eyes on because he can win this game by himself. So that game it's got 11 o'clock kickoff time, Central Time. That's going to be an interesting game. Also, Tennessee against Ohio, the Bobcats. North Dakota State against number 13 weight Iowa. Georgia State against Wisconsin.
Number 9 Wisconsin. You got to make sure you say number 9.
Number 9 with LSU.
After they beat LSU.
Jump clean out of the 9 rankings into
to
the
number
top 10.
9.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
but they got Georgia State. That should be a big whopper win for Wisconsin. Miami against Appalachian State. Alabama. They got Ole Miss.
That'd be nice. That'd be a good little test for Alabama, man. We're going to really see who they are.
We're going to have Ole Miss a little bit later against LSU.
I hope Ole Miss beat them then, and we could beat Ole Miss and leapfrog up there.
Colorado got Michigan. Oregon, number 22 at Nebraska. Texas A&M, number 17 ranked against Auburn, who looked pathetic last in week 1. Michigan State, of course, we know about LSU. They'd be playing there, and hopefully LSU could pull that one off.
LSU gonna pull that one.
Yeah, let's just put it out there. North Texas, they go against the 23rd ranked Florida club. Michigan State at Notre Dame. 12th ranked Michigan State at 18th ranked Notre Dame. Texas State battles Arkansas, number 24th ranked Arkansas. That should be a major win for them. The Bulldogs ranked number 16 against Mizzou, who need to get it together. Ohio State takes on Oklahoma. I like Ohio State.
Game,
I like Ohio State in that one. With Washington.
They had Oklahoma's house, though. Huh?
Yeah,
it's the first game that's been favored Oklahoma.
But defense and running game travels.
Yeah.
So Washington, number 8, Washington State against Portland State. That should be a big body slam for Washington over Portland State.
USC.
USC still kind of shuddering around.
They ain't ranked already.
Well, they got it. Maybe they can get a good rank if they knock off Stanford in their house. I don't think it's going to happen.
I'm not sold on Stanford. They could, but yeah, it's a home game.
So we got let's see here. Texas. Who's Texas lineup? Okay, hold on just a second here. Okay, Texas at California. 8-11 ranked Texas at California, the Golden Bears. Mm-hmm. Houston, the Cougars. Of course, what was this? They already played last Thursday. Yeah, they took care of Bobcats 40-16. And, of course, tonight's game, Baylor, 21 ranked Baylor took on Rice Owls. They beat them 38-10 in the contest. Seth Russell, the quarterback, 22 of 38 for 337 yards. He threw 3 touchdowns. Man, in that game,
you can't talk about him and then pass up 38-10. You can't pass up Greg Ward.
Who
Jr. threw for 24
for 36, 325. He had one touchdown. So he whopped him.
Wait. No, it's
and
not
he also
done.
led him in rushing. 26
he
carries,
ran for 2 more touchdowns.
73 yards. So he was responsible for 3 touchdowns and that 40-16 win. So big ups to him. And his number 6th ranked Houston Cougar club. Go ahead, with that one.
Yeah.
And also, before we check out, we're going to go over the prep scores because that's what we do at the Sports Coma. We cover high school, we cover college, and we cover the pros. We get a little bit of everybody. Now, Devon, let's run down some of these scores, brother.
We got Southern Lamb 34 against West St. John 6. They couldn't do nothing. Ponchatoula and the Lone Rangers 45-30. Ponchatoula. Loringer. You got I'm horrible with these names, man. Fernando 23 points. Berwick 30. So they basically took that one. What is that? The Berwick the Panthers? I don't know what they are.
Is.
You got Madison Prep and East St. John 16-14. Madison Prep. Cohen College Prep 0. St. Helen College 40. Wow. Pearl River Central against Slidell, 21-14 for Slidell.
They got it done tonight. Good for them.
Homer Christians and Sacred Heart, 53-21 to Sacred Heart. Union Parish against De La Salle, and De La Salle does what they do, 44-8, De La Salle. South Lafourche against Thibodaux, 26-17 Thibodaux. St. Og against Landry Walker. Man, I love to have been at that game. That
They
been
just
a good
keep
one.
falling apart. They lost last year.
Yeah.
I mean, lost last week. They went up to Scotlandville and got it handed to them, and then they lose again to Landry Walker.
They didn't just lose 42-20, man. This
Whoever's
a big game too, man.
Whoever's coaching at St. Aug, y'all might want to think about getting that guy out of there because that's real bad.
Yeah, you can't lose a premier matchup like that. And you got John Ehret and Destrehan, 21-7.
Didn't get it done tonight.
Nah, cuz couldn't get
21-7.
it done. Couldn't get it done tonight, man. But they still not out of it. If everybody who don't know, I'm rooting for John Ehret. My nephew plays for them. Plays safety, Lorenzo White. And they couldn't get it done tonight. But Destrehan, as anybody who in the city know, they always good.
Yeah.
Destrehan is always good, man.
Yeah.
Dutchtown against Hammond, 29-3. And you got South Terrebonne against Central Lafourche, 20-0 Central Lafourche. And I didn't Dutchtown won 29-3. I didn't even say who won the last
Over
one.
Hammond, yeah.
Gideon against Covenant Christian, 46-6 for Covenant Christian. Boy, they need to pick up the Bible after losing like that.
Yeah.
Ascension Christian against Ridgewood, 54-0.
Well, they ascending this time. Last week they was descending. And we also got.
They ascend? They reached the mountaintop.
They ascended. They became Super Saiyan today. But canceled games, we had Sophie B. Wright canceled against Lowville. Highland Baptist and West St. Mary were canceled. Hornville fell to Riverside 19-8. Kip Renaissance, they fell to North Lake Christian 41-8. Pope John Paul II, he was second tonight. They lose to Newman 42-14. Metairie Park Country Day 34-14 over Episcopal. Christian Life couldn't get it done against Lake Area New Tech 19-14. Catholic NI, they won 21-0 over Patterson. Archbishop Hannon took St. Martin Episcopal apart 40-20. St. John's, they were able to take E.D. White apart 40-28. East Feliciana 16 to Jewel Summoners 8. Bell Chase Blank Psi Academy 30-0. Pearl River they crested and ran all over Pine Prairie 21-6. Lusher Charter 42 over Thomas Jefferson's nothing. 33-12 Pine beats Independence. Fisher blanks J.S. Clark in a close one 6-0 by 2 field goals. Brushley 34-17 at St. John Aquinas. Vanderbilt Catholic 14-10 over St. Charles. Selman gets their butt handed to him by Covington 42-6. 55-46 Etna Cartico Park Brother Martin. So 5 your team lost tonight 46-55. Franklinton gets it done against Bogalusa 18-6. Haynes Academy 35-7 over Ben Franklin. Ellender won again today against Bonneville 12-0. Good for them. And also games that have yet to be played is Ellender. They take on Warren Easton. Swade's alma mater. They play tomorrow at 2:30. They obviously were rained out today. Also other rain games. Helen Cox will take on Carver tomorrow at 7 o'clock. And then we also have a few more finals to mention. Terrebonne gets it done against Assumption 30-21. Amant takes apart Lutcher 36-34. North Shore 34-23 over Lakeshore. Mandeville 35-14 over University Lab. Grace King loses to Riverdale 28-20. East Gambia High School falls down to Jesuit 34-13. Rescheduled games, McDonald 35 and Higgins will play tomorrow at 7:30. Fontainebleau and East Jefferson will match up tomorrow at 7 o'clock as well. St. Paul takes down Denham Springs 42-10. John Curtis ekes out a win against Parkview Baptist 34-31. Holy Cross 31-22 over the Chalmette Owls. HL Burgwa, they lose. They win against South Plaquemines 21-16.
You said BW Webb?
BW Webb. West Jefferson 25-20 over Archbishop Shaw. That's another loss for Shaw. And another rescheduled game, the last of the day, is Wayne County, Mississippi's game against Archbishop Rummel. That is rescheduled for tomorrow at 2 o'clock. So we got a couple of games that's rescheduled.
I was coming up, Shaw had all the talent, man.
Shaw,
they can't get a win now.
I guess the universal skills is kind of balancing itself. Now you done won this much. Now it's time for you to lose. It just did that. Now that philosophy couldn't affect
a lot of kids felt when we were coming up, you had to go to Shaw because all the scouts and stuff would be at
Shaw was a powerhouse when we were coming up. It was. It really was.
I don't know when the game changed, but you know, John Eretz and the Higgins and West Jeff, they started coming out of there too, man. Even Helen Cox.
Well, whatever happened to Shaw, it happened to St. Aug. So whatever they was drinking, they both sharing the same stuff.
What about Curtis and Brother Martin though? I ain't never seen them take a dive, bro. Just year after year.
They got a winning philosophy, and it don't change if it don't broke. They get them
big uglies, bro. That's what I remember. We went out there to look at the games, and you see the teams and. Well, Curtis Martin to come out there, man, and them guys look like they was playing college ball already, bro.
It's amazing, man. I tell you what.
Talking about 6'3", 300-pound dudes. It's high school.
Man, it's amazing.
Yeah, I don't know where they find them at, bro.
But hey, that's our show for today, peoples. Appreciate you for joining us for tonight. Remember to check out our sponsor, www.poshlifestyle.com for all your needs, your water filter needs, among other needs. Check them out. And also feel free to donate to our show. Go to www.thepashlifestyle.com to the donation section, or you can look on SoundCloud in the information section and find a link to go right to it and donate to our cause of building our platform. Also, like I said, thanks for all the new wave of people that's listening to us in international wave in other countries out in Europe and Africa and South America and in Canada. Thank y'all guys for listening to it. We appreciate y'all tuning in for new and current listeners. And make sure you follow us tomorrow. We'll have more our take as we cover LSU results, the college football as among other things as well. So thank you for the night. Stay blessed. And check us out tomorrow.
Thank you for all the future listeners to come.
Thank you. Have a blessed night.
Peace.